This will be my third trip to Costa Rica. Flying into Liberia, this is an aerial view. It's not as flat as it looks here. This just happens to be a flat area. Liberia is a smaller airport, easy access to get to the beaches and to the west coast of the country. It's also small, very easy to navigate. We've passed through customs. Passing through customs, now we're going, because we're renting a car, look for the shuttle car drivers. There's usually a group of them. They have a little sign that shows their respective company. The car lots are actually fairly close to the hotel. The shuttle is free. So once we get out of Liberia, we drive northeasterly to get to Guachipelin, which is where our hotel is. This is an aerial view. It shows you the location of the different rooms and some of the sites. This time we rented the honeymoon suite, which was a super treat. It's big, it's large, it's got a great shower area. You can open up the sliding glass doors open up and it feels like you're showering in the outside. It's got a private little sun area that you can sunbathe in. The room again, I found it to be quite large, very comfortable. One of the beauties of this room, it also has access to the backyard, a very private backyard, I must say. One of the few suites that has a private backyard. So included with the accommodations is breakfast in the morning. This is actually showing the section of the superior suites, which I think are a little bit bigger, a little bit nicer. I think they also cost a little bit more. We're walking through, it's kind of a hacienda style. These are the rooms. It takes about 6 minutes to walk to the restaurant. It's got lovely gardens, quiet. I mean, I must say, it's great. No loud music. Nobody's playing their stupid music outside. Very green. The units are spread out enough so that they're not one on top of the other. This used to be the stables for horses and cows. They've since removed them, perhaps because too many complaints with the sound, the smell, and the flies. These are also units on the left-hand side. On the right there, you can see, you'll see me panning over, that is the reception area. This is where you're going to park. I would recommend stay away from the restaurant, the reception area, because there's going to be more traffic. Just naturally, there's going to be more traffic. These are also units. These are standard rooms on the right-hand side. They probably will pick up a little bit more room from restaurant activity and evening. I think the place opens and serves liquor and beer in the evenings. We are here in 2021 during the pandemic. Remember to bring your mask. I thought the guy was joking, but he said $1 for a mask, but he wasn't joking. Breakfast is served buffet style. They do allow you to get as much as you can eat. So we tended to pack in as much food as possible that would suffice for a lunch also. Again, they'll let you take as much fruit as you wish. So one of our first adventure is Catarata Oropendola. Oropendola is a bird. Oro, it has apparently gold yellow tips or feathers, and the nest that it creates is like a pendulum. Therefore, you have Oropendola. We kept looking for it, never could find one. It's a short hike, maybe about a 20 minute hike from the parking area. Oh, and by the way, if you are renting at the Hotel Guachipelin, they give you a wristband that allows you to get into all of the sites that are on their property. Everything but Parc National. Parc National, you will have to pay, I think it's $17.50. This is a termite nest up in the trees. It's a nice, very well worked out path. This is a suspension cable bridge. They don't like to have too many people get on it at one time. Gives you a nice little view of the river. Now, depending on the time of the day that you hit this, and also when other tours come to this place, even though it's on private property, they have opened it up to tours and guides. And so you can come and you can have quite a few people. When we first showed up, we had quite a crowd, 2 or 3 adventure groups were here at the same time. One of the guides said, hey man, don't worry, they're going to clear out here shortly. So we hung out for, I don't know, maybe 10 more minutes, and they did clear out. So that's kind of a hit and miss. It is a lovely waterfalls. I've been here before where there wasn't nearly as much water going through here. The flow was lower, and the pond at the bottom wasn't quite as filled up. Now, you would be surprised. You would think that the water would be warm, but it's frisky. I think it must come from high up in the mountains and comes down, and you jump in. It's going to wake you up. It's fun. I don't know. Feels like maybe 70 degrees, 72 degrees or so. Great place just to hang out a little bit. It's a little bit overcast, a little bit wet in the air, and the atmosphere moist. So we met a guide. We weren't quite finished with our adventure for the day, and the guide said, hey, let me take you to a local-only place. And so we said, okay, let's go for it. And he was on a motorcycle, and we paid him $20 to take us down some dirt roads. So this is the road that goes to the place, and I kind of began to wonder if we did the right decision after. The roads are rough, that's for sure, and it clearly is not on the main tourist site. I can't say that it's a must-see. You can certainly miss this, and you're not going to be particularly disappointed. We just did it because we had the time and wanted to see something different. You do have to cross a couple of little streams that seem a little bit hairy, but they're doable. He said that normally this water is very blue, and that's the advantage. Apparently we've had a fair bit of rain up in the highlands, and so it sort of muddies up the water. But he did show us a couple of photos, and they were absolutely gorgeous blue, but this wasn't quite as gorgeous as he showed it. Nonetheless, it was very private. Nobody else was there. Now, while you are in this area, a must-see is La Catarata La Leona. It's a beautiful waterfalls that you have to kind of swim around through some cave type of thing. So do plan, if you're in this area, that you go to see that waterfalls. So right across the street from the hotel, from the superior rooms, the parking lot, is Poza Rosa, Red Ponds. It's not particularly standoutish for any great reason, but it's there, it's close by, and you can walk there and you don't have to drive any place. It gives you a few little dioramas of some of the local indigenous groups that used to make this their home. And again, most of the trails are very well worked out, very easy to walk. Anybody can walk them. Young kids, old kids can do this. Apparently the river was fairly high because I didn't see the red ponds. You'll see me panning here to the left, and you'll see the red rock, and I'm assuming that when the water levels are much lower, there's more red ponds instead of an actual river running through it. This is also a hike that's fairly accessible straight from the hotel. You can walk to the trailhead, Las Chorreras. It's a waterfalls. The hike down to the waterfalls from the main road, it's a little bit rough. It's not particularly beautiful. It's muddy some places. So another hike, which is really, we had to drive there from the hotel, is La Victoria Chorreras. We've been here before tubing, but man, I don't even remember seeing the waterfalls. I think we were so excited to get the tubes and had the kids with us. There was a lot happening, so it was sort of nice to come back and revisit this site. To get to the falls, there was one fairly wide river, and we parked the car and walked over the river and got to the waterfalls, and one of the guides said, no, don't leave your car there. I think they're very sensitive to security, and he showed me how to traverse the river with the car. So that was actually kind of its own adventure. So near Guachipelin, there are all of these little adventures, and again, if you rent from the hotel, they give you a wristband. You don't have to pay. Otherwise, you do have to pay for these adventures. Every time you show up, you have to pay for one of these things. So a must-do are these thermal springs. Sorry, I don't have a video of it, but they basically tap into hot springs. They've created different pools, and the water is piped in for different temperatures. Very wonderful. The mud on your face and on your body is also very therapeutic. Thank you very much for watching.